Should I start a brand with a business partner? And if I do, what are some things that I need to be aware of? All that and more in today's episode. Well, welcome to episode 3 of the Brand Builder Diaries, a weekly and unfiltered look at how we're building a brand that's not a project or a case study, but it's a real brand that we're proud of and excited to bring you along the journey. If you want to watch the journey of how a brand gets started from day one until whoever knows where this is going, the whole journey, see behind the scenes, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we've got some great stuff coming your way. Speaking of which, today I'm sitting down with my business partner, Claire, and we're talking about the early days of agreeing on being business partners together. I know there'll be some people out there and you've thought maybe I would like to do this in a partnership with someone else, or have wondered about the idea and the strengths and weaknesses. So I sat down with Claire and talked about the very first time that we discussed doing a business together, why I went to her, what we talked about when we first discussed it, some of the thought processes we went through, some of the people that agreed with us, disagreed with the whole idea of doing a business together, and a whole load of other thoughts around that too. It's about a 15-minute conversation, and so we talk about what we're excited about with the business, and we talk about the different strengths and weaknesses, things to be aware of if you are going to start a business together. So grab a coffee, pull up a chair, and enjoy this behind the scenes chat. Awesome. Well, I am joined here with my business partner and great friend, Claire Howarth. Claire, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's awesome. I was actually looking back in my messages to look at when I first reached out to you and about starting a business with me. And it was actually back in April. So
wow.
Can you believe it? Which is like 6 months ago. And pretty crazy. It's time has gone on. We probably thought we would have been making millions by now 6 months ago. It's been some challenges and delays along the way, which I'll talk about in coming episodes. But I wanted to bring you on just to chat to everyone about the idea of working with a business partner. Whether people should do it, because I know some people would consider it, but some people would rather work on their own, which is totally fair enough. Some people like the idea of working with a business partner. So I thought I'll ask you to come on and talk a little bit, very briefly, about our journey and what's working well in these early days. What are some challenges, how we're overcoming them, etc. So what would you say, like working with me and Be Nice? What are the biggest challenges? Because we're a remote sort of business partnership, right? We live in different opposite ends of the country now, and so we only ever contact each other online, but we're kind of in this together. What are some of the challenges involved in that?
I think if you're in that situation, you've got to get your communication spot on, and you have to be super clear and mean what you say. And so we've got really good at using Slack and having a ton of different channels to make sure we communicate properly and that we involve other team members when we need to do that. I think at the beginning it was kind of a little bit by email, a little bit here and there, and then you forget things and you write stuff down and you forget who's doing what. So I think we're still finding our way a little bit, but that has massively helped, having that clarity and being able to look back on things. And also something we've recently tried to start doing is being more intentional with our meetings, because we do obviously meet weekly, and I realized that we weren't always using our time that effectively because we hadn't necessarily really planned what we wanted to use that time for, and we had a vague idea but maybe weren't intentional enough. So we're now trying to be a bit more on it with, this is what we're going to do, and we've putting the time in to come up with an agenda or whatever. I feel that's helping a lot as well, because we're just really maximizing that time. So communication really is the biggest thing that is been a challenge, but the good thing is obviously that we know each other so well. We've known each other for a really long time, and our families are best of friends, so we already have a kind of great understanding of what each other mean when we say things, and reading each other, and anticipating how each other might react to things. So I think that having that strong friendship as well is really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're right. That clarity of communication, I think, has been so key, especially in the early days when there's so much to talk through, different changes we're making with products, about the brand, about the direction we want to go in. It's been so key. And I think, using something like Slack for us has been really important. And I think, just starting out, a lot of people would think like, is that necessary? Could we just do WhatsApp or whatever? Like, for sure you could, but I think how you start is how you continue. And you want to start as you mean to go on. And so whilst we are, we're not making any revenue, we're not paying anyone, like this is all like fully startup. We're thinking like a big company, and that's what I like about what we're doing is we haven't sort of said, oh, we're only just starting out, so we're just play it like we're just starting out. We're taking this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
We're treating it like we just had an all team meeting. Like, we obviously are in the benefited situation when we have other people that work for us in other businesses, so they can help us on this project. So we're in, I suppose, a bit of a unique situation there, but like we're taking advantage of everything we have to really treat this like something we're being serious about. Hey, so I think that really helps as well. Yeah,
definitely.
What would you say have been some of the strengths? Like, obviously having a business partner, like you could have done this on your own, like you're a more than capable person. What's been the strength of kind of working together on this, do you think?
When I when you first floated this idea to me, I got on a Facebook group of business women that I was in at the time, and I kind of asked just a bit of advice out there, like, what do you think about doing a partnership? Because we were going to meet and talk about it all. And so I just put it out there, like, what questions should I ask and what should I be looking for to see if this can work? And I got all this response. Like, somebody said to me, the only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership. And I got somebody even DM'd me to be like, oh, I started hairdressers with someone, it was a disaster, and I'll tell you what happened, don't do it. So I was really like, but I think that the thing that gave me confidence is that I knew that we're compatible as business partners, because the way that our strengths support each other, in the way that so for me, it's really natural to me I'm a teacher by profession, and I'm also a copywriter, so I've got those kind of strengths of the front facing stuff, and in terms of the product, I've been able to help those with product development and kind of narrowing in on what it is we're doing for parents and how we're meeting their needs and adding value. And in your case, it's been something that you've done before. So I've never started a business. I couldn't have really told you. Couldn't have told you how to get anything trademarked or how to, all the legal stuff or anything like that. And I didn't have a clue how to even set up an account on Amazon. So you've been able to add all of that and all of your business knowledge and experience and your kind of big picture thinking. So I think I knew from the very start that we had skill sets and experience and personality traits as well that would strengthen our business together. So I think that's something to think about as well. If you're considering going into business with somebody, are you compatible as friends? And are you compatible professionally as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and some people would say, don't go into business with friends, and I think that there is some merit in that. Like, it depends on the kind of relationship you have. I think that the strength of relationship, the depth of relationship that we've had means that I think it's not about the friendship and the skill set as much as it's about the trust. Do we trust each other that if challenges came up, that we would value the relationship over the business? And I think because and that's a key, I think, is ensuring that you value the relationship more, because if you choose the business over the relationship, obviously you can always start a new business, make more money, but those relationships that are important to you are a lot more long lasting than that. And so I think that's really important as well. And it's good what you say about the strengths as well, because I was saying to Beck, my wife, the other day, my wife, but I meant that for the audience, and I was saying that I'm just so glad that I'm working with you on this, because it's I didn't just choose someone who's got like a particular skill set or is going to invest money into it and just be a silent partner or whatever, but you're someone who's a leader, and I love that I'm not the one that's like, oh, here's what we should do with the business, and now Claire, can you go and do these tasks? You're coming to me saying, Ben, we should do this for the business, we should do that, here's how we should develop this, and you're coming with those ideas because you got that that sense of leadership. And so for anybody considering doing a partnership, I think it would be a case of if you're gonna yes, it's good to be complementary, but also I think it's really good if both the people in the partnership do have that sense of drive, direction, leadership, because it's not like the kind of partnership where you just want to have one leader and one who's just submissive and do 100%. Whatever, because you're owners of a company, like we're co-owners of the company. We both want to have that leadership, and there'll be times in the future potentially where we'll disagree and we'll need to kind of find a solution, but I'd much rather have, us both being proactive and be
Yeah.
passionate and driven, and occasionally have to talk each other around or something, than the other one having to egg the other one on all the time. So I think, for me, that's a real big strength and something to consider as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think about what that person is like. Is that someone that you want to be, trapped in a lift with for 3 hours or whatever?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
somebody that
sure.
you trust? Absolutely. First and foremost, is it someone who shares the same worldview as you? They don't have to have the same, exact same religious views or views on money or whatever, but is the core way in which you see the world and how you value people the same as the way they see it? Do they have friends? Are they somebody who treats the waiter with respect when you go out for dinner? Because and as you say, are they somebody who's going to be in this as much as you're in it? Because otherwise you haven't got a partnership, you've just got someone tagging along, haven't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Which nobody wants to be in that situation.
Yeah,
So
totally. And I think it's really good what you say there about, having the same sort of values, because I think that's one of the things we talked about early on is what we're trying to achieve here. Because if you've got one partner in the business who just wants to make as much money as early as possible, then that's going to hamper maybe the other partner who wants to know, I want to build a long-term brand, I want to build an asset for the future. And that's what we've decided. We've said, look, we're going to keep rolling money back into the company. We're going to try and grow this. And of course, in time, pay ourselves out of it and enjoy the fruits of our labor. But the goal for us is building something of of stature, of momentum. And so it's not just about, because that could create some tension as well. Like, money is obviously something that can easily create tension. So I would just recommend anybody out there that's considering a business partnership to make that one of your big conversations early on. Is what do we feel about money? How do we think about different aspects of that, the journey? And there's some things that you can only discover on the journey, but I think as much conversation as you can have before to get clarity, I think that's definitely really helped us anyway.
Yeah, definitely, I'd agree with that.
That's good stuff. All right, have you got any other advice for anybody that's considering like a business partnership, working with someone on the business, involving a partner in what they're doing? Any other thoughts for them?
I obviously talked about character, looking at that, how that person is when they're not just trying to impress you, or when they're not just in a certain situation, but also look at their history. In our case, like we've already said, our families have been, we've been friends since we were teenagers. So that's a depressingly long time. And so that's where that trust comes from as well. It's that, and even if maybe you haven't known that person that long, you can't kind of go back in time and change that. And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go into a partnership with that person, but look at their history. Do they have a history of being somebody who sticks at things? Do they have a history of being somebody who manages their finances well? Because if they can't manage their personal finances, it's not going to look good for your business, is it? Do they have a history of maintaining relationships? If there's somebody who doesn't have any friends older than the last year or two, that might, it depends on circumstances, but that might ring alarm bells. So look at that person's history. Have they done anything like this before? Have they shown that they have those kinds of skills to do that? And obviously in our case, you took a punt on me, even though I've always even though this is something I've never done before, because you trust me and that I have the core skills. I just don't have the experience yet. And in my case, it was obviously easy to trust you because you have this track record of building great businesses.
Right. So, good thoughts about in terms of the character of the person you're looking at working with. Like you say, if they're always in debt or always borrowing money from you, or all that kind of stuff. Like, I think those are definitely telltale signs. And you don't want to just it's easy, I think, to get maybe distracted by the idea of someone that either is going to invest a bit of money or just has like this particular great skill set. They're an amazing marketer, and you're like, oh, let's get them on board because it's going to be great. And you give them ownership of your company. That's a huge deal. Like, we're planning on building this to be, a big company, and it's like that's a lot of, that's a lot of weight that you're giving them. So I think character is such a massive thing. Hey,
definitely.
Good stuff. All right. Well, like you say, I'm trying to keep these episodes relatively bite-sized, so we'll kind of look to wrap it up. But just finishing off, obviously, the project we're working on with SuperSTEM. Talk us about, what you're excited about over the coming, sort of months. We've got products that should be arriving in the next sort of 6 to 8 weeks to, fingers crossed, to launch and get going on a lot of these plans. We've been obviously working behind the scenes. You've been creating a lot of the content, all the content. You've been doing, really a lot of the groundwork to really make sure that we're building a real brand. We're not just selling products on Amazon, but we're building something we're proud of. So the work has begun. But what would you say for the next sort of 6 to 12 months? What are you most excited about?
Honestly, I would just be really excited. Obviously, selling your first product is going to be a great feeling, but because then you're like, I'm going to be a millionaire. But I'm really excited about seeing videos and photos from parents, from families come in, I'm excited about seeing reviews come in, and seeing these products being used as we dream of them being used, that the value that we think that they can add to families, and how much time and effort we've put in and thought to designing these products and tailoring them so that they can offer the maximum value for families. I'm just really excited about seeing that come to fruition, basically. As a teacher, that's what I've always loved doing, is seeing those wow moments for kids and for families. So I'm really excited about seeing that happen with our products.
Definitely. And finally, I know I said that was the last question, but I thought of one more. Obviously, when I came to you with the idea that I wanted to kind of document this process, because we talked about starting the business before I had the idea of like showing everyone. And so you were kind of committed. And then I came to you and said, actually, I've been thinking like it'd be great to be able to share our journey with the community. And obviously, you're cool with that. Like nobody really does this, right? No other sort of people that kind of do what I do kind of really do this and show all the details. What made you kind of be like cool with that? Like, are you worried about that in any way? Like what's what gives you the confidence to kind of show everyone what we're doing?
Well, I suppose from my perspective, I've never done it either, so I can kind of be like, well, I told you I didn't know what I was doing, so I haven't got like a professional reputation to lose or anything. but I think, as I said, like my profession has always been as a teacher, and even as a copywriter, like I get to help people build their businesses. So I love that. That's what I'm already doing. It's what I've always done, is teach people and help people with whatever it is they need help with. So this is a really exciting opportunity for me, because I'm learning loads and I'm going on the same journey that everybody else is going on as we're sharing this with them and with you. But I get to teach as well, and to share what I've learned and save people from making the same mistakes as me, or to share what's working for us. So it's a really exciting opportunity, and I hope it's something that a lot of people are going to want to get on board with, because I think it can help a lot of people.
Definitely. And I think from the brand perspective as well, what we discussed is that, obviously people are going to see it and they're going to see what we do and stuff. And there's obviously negative potential with that, but I think there's also so much positive potential. And I think that, we're working hard to make sure that our competitive advantage is not just that we found a product before anybody else, but it's everything we're doing to build a real long-term, brand with structure, with strength, with longevity. And so, I'm excited to see sort of how that all plays out.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I hope people will see that we're doing this with integrity. And I think if you set out with integrity and you really set out to add value to people's lives, then you're going to be rewarded for that. If you add some good business sense as well.
Yeah, for sure. Good stuff. Amazing. Well, thanks for joining me today,
Thank
Claire. And we'll have to get you back on and make you a regular guest on these, just to chat through the journey and how we're all going. So lots of exciting things coming up. Hey.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, I hope you enjoyed that chat between myself and Claire. Hopefully it was informative or encouraging in some way. And I said to Claire that we'll definitely be bringing her on regularly, because we could have sat there chatting about stuff we're doing for hours on end. And but the idea with these episodes is to keep them relatively concise. So they're just a nice sort of, usually 10 minutes. This one's probably a bit over. A nice little concise episode about what we're doing each week and how that is impacting the growth of our brand. So like I say, hopefully enjoy those. If you do have any questions for myself or Claire, feel free to drop them in the comments below and we will get back to you. If you do want to dive deeper, there are a few ways that you can follow along the journey a bit more closely. Of course, number one is to subscribe to the channel with notifications on, because not only are you going to get these episodes each week, but you will also get other tutorials that will help you build your business successfully. And then you can follow me on social media. There's my links to my personal Instagram and Twitter below. Follow my journey as I'm documenting the process day by day there too. And then finally, finally, you can join the free Brand Builder Society group if you do want to dive a bit deeper. Often posting things in there, doing every now and then go live in there, doing some Q&A and stuff like that. So lots of great resources for you there if you want to follow along. Like I say, any questions you have, let us know. Next week we'll come back with another episode, just giving you some updates on how we're going with progress and what is happening with this brand. Excited for you guys to come along the journey. For now, it's back to work. All right, see you soon.